Hi guys, how you doing? So I thought I would do a general energy update per week, by week. Okay, I'm also feeling weak. That's what they're saying. So I'm sorry. I'm trying not to channel straight away before people think that I'm going slightly crazy. So if you haven't met me before, this channel before, I channel a lot of spirit messages. So we'll go over some tarot card readings, and then we'll tarot card reading for the general energy. But we'll also go over some channeled messages through what's been going on that I've been picking up, generalize them, and then also look at current energy. Okay, but I'm feeling weak. There's something like they're saying, like I keep feeling weak, week by week. We seem to be doing something week by week. Bi-weeklies. Hopefully you like the bi-weeklies, but something to do with like week by week. But also for a lot of you, like it's feeling weak. It's compromised energy of like feeling weak and then strong and then weak. But I'm definitely picking up that some of you out there could well be suffering through some kind of like, obviously isolational period of feeling weak, because they're definitely saying feeling weak. Okay. Now, they're also saying paper, something sort of like paper. I'm also picking up paper lace, okay, but Lacey or Stacy, but paper and paper lace. So I will come out with names as well. So I'm trying to catch up. Catch me. So catch me if you can. Thank you, Spirit. Something to do with catch me if you can. Okay, now through energies that I've been picking up through April, for the April readings, if you haven't watched them, please watch them. But it was Catch Me If You Can. It was something to do with Tom Hanks. Okay, now today, funnily enough, through the messages that I've been channeling via the month, I actually came up with the coronavirus NHS that was listed on a lot of below of the videos, and it was to do with an analyst, and he said that it's spreading from the heart to the liver. Okay, now I was saying stand and deliver for a few readings. I'm going really cold and saying a Chianti of something to do with an auntie also, but a Chianti. Now a Chianti, obviously the film was to do with hearts and livers and things like that, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was to do with Scorpio reading. Now it's not saying that it's Scorpio, but I'm relating it to a death card of a toll, something to do with like a toll, okay, paying a toll, but it's taking its toll, or it's taking its time. This energy that's around everybody at the moment seems to be taking its time. Okay, now I am relating a lot of things to the coronavirus because it's very difficult for me to not channel that at the moment, because obviously everybody's thinking about it, right? Because so before you're thinking about it, I'm thinking about it. So we're all thinking about it. So it seems as an energy like we're all thinking about this constantly. We're thinking about it and we're thinking about it and we're thinking about it, okay? But through that I picked up Chianti. Now, that was a lot to do with something that I watched this morning where there was a doctor saying something about also a different country, okay? I don't want to mention country names, okay? But they were saying that this doctor, that it was spreading from the heart to the liver. So I all of a sudden went, I just channeled that yesterday, and it's strange I watched that reading, news report. So we're reporting something. Something's being reported, like a porter or reporting. Now I'm picking up porting and paper, something to do with like paper. Now they're saying that it could be coming through in the paper. Now be very cautious and careful around paperwork if you are having a lot of paperwork delivered to you, because I'm picking up stand and deliver, like I picked up on through some of the readings. Sorry if I'm very sporadic, but I'm trying to do a general collective reading. But if they're saying that it could be coming through in the paper. Now, if you're having a lot of paperwork delivered to your house, or even going to or from, they're saying that it's a good possibility that it could be coming through and spread like news, like a virus, in the news and the media, and also through paperwork. Now, if paperwork is something that you are sending out but receiving a lot of paperwork back, be very cautious around paperwork. I really don't want to freak people out, but these are spirit messages that they are saying that something's coming through in the paper, okay? So I don't know where they're coming from. But we definitely picked up through the months of something to do with like someone's auntie or Chianti and things spreading. Now I am picking up on shivering and stuff of like isolation and cold. I think a lot of that is what that is. Some of you, it was relating to like a physical illness, that someone is suffering from something cold. Because I keep stuttering, like I feel this like chattering, like my jaw is chattering, and it's something like I keep chatting, like chatting, or the name Chatterus or Chatters or something, okay? But chatters. But I'm feeling like the shivering around like shingles or shivering, and we've picked up through the month's readings of like they're also saying shank. They're also saying a shank. Okay, so we're going to leave that one there. But it's a very strange time of things that I've been going through. And I think that a lot of people are in like isolation, and it's compromised energy around people, because I think that some people out there are physically worried about getting ill, and they're actually also believing that they're going to be ill. Now, I believe in the power of manifestation of your mind, okay? Now, a lot of things can recover from mind, because the code of your head is still a virus of an antivirus. So I'm picking up through that they are looking into an antivirus, but I don't think that that's really going to be any good until the government decides to start actually giving money to people that they can make it, because my belief is completely different, that they can find viruses, but the government just won't back it. So it's something to do with like backing a back, or someone's pain or back pain. So you could be suffering for some kind of like back pain by sitting around quite a lot, because it feels like that people are just like hanging around and hanging around and hanging around quite a lot. Some of you, to do with your love life, it's slightly compromised because it feels like someone's hanging around a lot. Okay, now it might not be compromised, but it's just coming through as that people are just hanging around, waiting, hanging around. But we'll stick with that through spreading through the heart to the lungs. Something is like worrying someone, because also the government, and I'm picking this up for a few cards that were delivered, like cards, they're saying that something's being delivered, like a baby is also being delivered, that someone out there is having a baby, or they are pregnant, but they are worried about this coronavirus of it being delivered. Now, for some, if we relate to 3 cards that actually came out as I was pre-shuffling, it is a lot to do with this Hierophant. Okay, I've got a different card deck, and that's why I started shuffling from start to see. But it, again, for a reading, it was all based off this one energy and Libra energy. Now, Libra for me is the Justice Department, the legal department, countries, things that are where lives are in the balance. Okay, and it's still the same kind of energy because it came through for a Libra reading. So everything is being looked at through our relationships that we're in, through feeling compromised, through our work that we're in, through work-based placements. They're also saying like work-based placements where you might be placed within work at the moment, but I think your boss is looking into placing you somewhere through I can't pick up on a timeline, okay, but we are looking in for this energy. So I think that because this is work, okay, if I didn't show you, you've got the Page of Cups, okay, the Hierophant, and the 3 we have as a collective, okay. So the 3 of Pentacles, because it feels like when we're just sitting around here waiting for an answer from this Hierophant, we really need to know questions from the government. We need to know if our money is safe. We need to know if our jobs are safe. We need to know that if we can actually physically go back to work. So while we're not at work, we're actually studying and thinking about, well, what can we do in order to survive? What can we do for like the future of our government here? I'm picking up government stuff. What can we do for the future of the government? What can we do for the people? What can we do in order to spread this news that's more positive than negative? That's why it's coming through as a Libra energy for some of you guys. If you're not Libra, it's definitely relating to like Justice Department. Okay, so some of you are going through like legal stuff where you really are looking through paperwork, and you're sifting through stuff at home, like you're going through things at home and at home and at home. It feels like I'm just at home, but I'm working from home. Some of you have been physically asked to work from home, so you could have been laid off from work from the Hierophant, okay, but you could be just waiting around to get that news, okay, to say that, well, okay, well, it's possible that I can actually work from home, okay? So, because I'm picking up like home alone, like some of you are physically either home alone, or you have your love life here, but it's just like, well, we're just like into the fade, you know. So there's Queens of the Stone Age, but we're disappearing into the fade, okay? Also fade, aid. We're looking into aid. We're looking into Adrian, but also we're looking into aid, like physical aid. I heard masculine aid, masquerade, okay, a masquerade. So Heather, you're obviously watching with the channeled messages through what you're listening to, but I forget what that one is. Masquerade by Karen Carpenter. So some of you, whilst you're at home, you could well be doing anything to do with carpentry. Now, for some of you, you might witness that shops are actually boarding things up. I don't think they're boarding. I think, okay, now they're, okay, wow. So sorry, we're going on to like boarding planes and stuff, okay. Can you remember that one? Sorry, she's got her headphones on. Okay, so some of you are like renovating, boarding. They're saying like boarding. So some of the shops, okay, might not be shutting down, but what they are doing, so if you work in a shop, or if you work anywhere where there's public, I don't think that they're actually closing down. What I think that a lot of the shops and places are doing that you might witness is that they're saying legal witness. Okay, sorry if I'm slightly, but I have to write these messages down so I forget the channel. But something to do with like, you might witness a lot of this where places are like being boarded up with like cellophane and stuff like that, and they're just doing for a service hatch. Because I'm picking like name hitch or hatch, okay, or catch, like there's a catch. Catch me if you can. There's something to do with like catch me, okay, catching something, but worried about catching something. So everybody's obviously isolating and everybody is literally worried about catching. Okay, now, so you might witness a lot of this to do with like places that like shops and buildings and societies, building societies. Some of you, okay, so now we're going on to another one. We'll have to put that one on the back burner. But building society. Some of you are like saving stuff in a building society, or you have good savings in a building society, and or you live in a good society. Okay, because it's saying twist of my sobriety, also sobriety test. Some of you could be faced through court decisions to do with a sobriety test. Now, if it's not coming through as a sobriety test, it's coming through for a channeled message of a twist in my sobriety, meaning that I have to now be clean. There's a lot to do with like cleaning stuff and cleaning products and things that are looked at around the house, where people are cleaning stuff, looking at obviously at hopefully paperwork, okay, through channeled messages that of advice that's coming through for you guys. But they're also saying like a lot of you are shivering, sifting through legal stuff. Now, if we look at your work, definitely big work, that some of you are looking at doing stuff from home. Okay, now even if that's not earning money, it's coming across that you have some kind of like obviously savings in your bank account building society. But it feels like okay, society, like twisting my sobriety, that some of you having to do this sobriety test for court. Now, if it's not coming across as a sobriety test, it's just coming across as that we're doing well at court. If you're going to court and you are doing well, then you're obviously doing well, because it feels like there's a lot of proof that needs to be given to the government, and a lot of proof that the government are also asking of you to prove something. Now, that's obviously a lot to do with paperwork, but obviously please be careful as long as it's digital, okay, because if it's digital there's no fingerprint, and it's something to do with like fingerprints. Now they're saying fingerprinting, because I'm picking up three fingers. Oh, that's okay, that is like wow, okay, quantum but that is like ATI, right? Something like ATM. Now they're saying something to do with like, okay, you'll get that one, but something to do with like ATM, like an ATM machine, like so you might be like, okay, well, all we're doing is just the shopping and that's it, we're coming home, but we're going to an ATM, okay, ATM machine, and it's coming through, okay, it's coming through as paper, money, it's being transported through money. So be very careful around, oh God, I mean, I'm going to spread this. There's nothing worse than bad news, right, guys? I mean, we're all in this together, but there's nothing worse than that, right? So they are saying that paper. So if it's not, okay, because I don't want to freak people out, but because it's not coming through really strong, but they are saying like paper, money, paper lace and paper money. Something to do with like building societies and money, and that we have good backing from this Hierophant, that your boss really is having to fight the government to get paid so you can, okay? So if you guys have any error of kind of like blaming who you work for, trust me, the person that you work for is also extremely testing at times, I'm hearing, but also are being tested by the government. There is a lot of things around now that they're saying to do with like being tested by the government, that they may be bringing in protocols of testing. Okay, now a lot of you do this at home, that you could be tested at home for work and relationship factors, and also building society and monies. Okay, because they're saying money must be funny in a rich man's world. Someone is getting rich from this. Thanks, government. But again, I mean, is everybody else on that kind of like timeline? You know, I know the government, I mean, I have so much respect for our Prime Minister, but again, compromised by people with money. You can't look at an icon of a president or of any kind of like benefactor of anything apart from people that own money. And the government and the world are so greedy with money that that's all they think about. Okay, and that's why YouTube is compromised. That's why you can't get anything for love and money. That's why, like, presidency, they're just an icon. They're just a face that presents themselves to people for, like, guidance and for help and support, that people blame a president or... I mean, I'm not saying... We're going to political. This is some kind of, like, political party that we did channel through different messages. But again, what I'm saying is that as a general collective, we do have this air of like pointing a finger at someone that has a face or a speech or word, and because they do, not everybody is on that same wavelength, and in order to get on that, they're also being controlled by people that have money. And that's why the economy, and that is why the world is literally out of control, because it all comes down to money. Okay, if we had everything for free, then things would be chaos then, right? So there's chaos everywhere. It feels like K's as well, like paying off stuff to do with like club books and past debts and things like that, and looking at them and making sure that you're up to date on all of your debt and accountants and stuff as well. Okay, Kai. I'm also hearing a Kai, or Kaylee, or Kylie, also Kylie. Okay, so we're going to continue on with a few more cards, but that was just 3. Okay, that was just 3. It's like 3 is the magic number, and 3 is the magic number. If you're watching about channeling, I will do a separate video for that. But you have to have 3 to not be compromised by loads of energy. Okay, loads of energy of just writing can be very difficult for general readings as well. Okay, but when you have 3 of focus, you have to have you, the channeled message, and somebody to narrow that down. Okay, you have to narrow it down to a specific point of what you're channeling for. When you can do that, the messages are not so sporadic, and they're actually just focused within one. Your root number, the magician, that's how you start to manifest more and give it through as a chain of stabilizing things within the magician. Okay, magician is very difficult in order to master as an energy, okay, because you do need focus. You need 4 elements, okay, but as long as you have 3, you can focus, okay, because I'm picking up like focusing on something, okay, focus. So let's see, so general energy, continue on a general energy for everybody for this week, please. General energy for this week of general energy. Sorry, because these are double-sided cards that I've had these for years, these cards, and I've never used them. I bought them and thought, well, I can't contend with that because because they had double sides. So I thought, well, the best way to do it is just shuffle. When one comes out, we keep it at that side, okay? So I'm picking up like sides. We need to take sides. Someone's taking like a defense lawyer or an offense lawyer or Laura or something like that, and someone seems to be taking an offense to something. Okay, so they're looking at legal representation of fencing, or your fence is compromised to do with maybe where you're living. Your fencing, it seems that things are being fenced off. Okay, fenced off. So you've got fire sign. Okay, so it feels like, well, we're taking a stand and we're taking a fierce one. There's a fierce way of doing stuff, but it's good because it feels like we are leaders. This is like we are leaders of the free world and we're leading something. So there's somebody leading something, okay? So it's coming from this 3. So we're leading stuff through society and we're actually leading the way forward. There's a collective general energy of people that are spiritual. We are still leading the way and we are fighting strong. So everybody is still fighting strong. So whatever it is, it's coming through as very strong. Okay, very strong. And it's coming through from work. Okay, I've got to say those messages. Probably you won't normally pick that up, but that's why I'm picking it up, you see. It's coming from work. So work is coming in, work is going out, work is coming in, work is going out. Okay, but whatever it is, if you are compromised at work, it's coming from work. So if you work in a supermarket chain or the NHS or anything to do, well, obviously wherever you work, it's coming from work. Okay, so your messages that you get from are going to be coming from work. And they are going to give you like something that's something that you something that you're worthy of, put it that way, okay? Something that you deserve, but it might not be the full amount of package that you really want, because it feels like, well, there's a small package that we can give you from the government here, okay? So it's a small payoff, so we might not be giving you your full wage of what you normally have, but we will give you something, okay? So something to do with like somewhere, somewhere. Well, there's somewhere, okay, because the pages are not messengers, they are gatherers. They think, okay, but they don't deliver. So there's something about delivering a message that is being compromised by someone someone feels like they're worthy and someone feels like they're not, okay. No, that's a bad way of putting it. Someone is thinking about love and someone is thinking about phallic stuff, okay. They're thinking about nature. So they're thinking about human naturists and stuff like that, but they're also thinking through a different kind of like perspective of someone thinking about love. Someone is just here thinking, well, you know, my love life is here and it's okay, but I'm working from home. We're going to stick with those channel messages, guys, okay? But I'm working from home. So you might get a message or a package to do with from your work to say that, you know, you've got enough money in your bank account, you've got stuff to keep you ticked over, so we're just ticking over and we're just going to keep things as they are, okay? But also, because a lot of you are possibly like in isolation with children and families that at times I mean, trust me, tell me anybody that you live with that doesn't get on your nerves from time to time, okay? If anybody's out there where there's nobody in the world that ever gets on their nerves, then please let me know. Something's on my nerves, it says something is on my nerves, or in my nerves, or nerve, like I've got a nerve, or you've got a nerve, okay? I'm thinking that someone's going to say, well, you've got a nerve, if it's to do with like love. It's like, well, you know, are we going to have time? Can I get your focus away from work to give me a little bit of attention? And someone's saying, well, maybe, but you've got a nerve. Okay, you've got a nerve. A Nerf gun. Also, I'm picking up some of your kids have got Nerf guns, okay? And they are like getting on someone's nerves by trying to figure out toys and stuff like that and keeping someone occupied, because I'm picking up this Nerf. Are they Nerf guns? I've never seen them. But Nerf guns. Okay. Let's see. General energy. Okay. So you've got the three of cups. Yeah, the 3 of cups. I've never seen these cards, sorry. But the 3. So it's like, well, when will I see you again? So you're going to get some good news. Whatever it is, generally, you're going to get some kind of like good news. It's possible, because the page is like, well, you know, we can compromise in some kind of like manner. So I think that they're really, because your timeline, right, your timeline of tarot cards, it starts from a most important card of your eye line. Okay, now my eye line is gathered towards the Hierophant of Work and the 3 of Pentacles. So it's really about money, this reading. Okay. So what it is that you're going to get good news from this timeline here. So whenever this happens to do with your work, you'll get some kind of like reward for something. You'll get like, it might not be quite what you're looking for, but it looks like you will get enough to be able to get by. Okay, to get by. Better Buy. I'm also picking up Better Buy, the name Better Buy or Better Wear or Betty, but Better Wear. Like, well, we better wear this or we better wear that. See, things are also coming through like clothing. Like clothing. You might be selling clothing or looking at clothing, and it's like, well, it's coming through the Better Wear. Okay, Better Wear was like a Tupperware party, what they used to do back in the day and stuff like that. They used to sell Tupperware and all things like that. But because I'm picking up like people hoarding like stuff through Tupperware. So they've got like a plastic container, they're putting all their food in it, they're putting a thing over it, label it, okay, and that goes in the fridge, and they're like, okay, some of you are like batch cooking, like batching or bachelor. Some of you are physical bachelor, okay, and you've got a bachelor pad, which is the 3 of Pentacles, and you do all of your work from your bachelor pad. But it's kind of like, well, this is the man cave. I mean, have I got any men out there that are watching? But this is the bat cave, right? Or bats. Okay, it came from bats. Catch me if you can. Come from bats, apparently. Someone eating a bat. Ozzy, you're not watching, bruv, are you? Stop eating bats. But it came from bats. Came from bats. Okay, so, I mean, I think that's general news, right? People eating stuff. But, again, it's come from bats. So, again, bachelor pad. This is my bachelor pad. This is my place of residency. This is where I work. This is where I study. This is where I get the most amount of affection and infection. This is where I could possibly get the most amount of infection from work. So a lot of you are hoping to be relieved from work in order to get some kind of package from your government so you don't catch it where you work. Because I'm really picking up on Tom Hanks and Catch Me If You Can. I've never seen that film, okay? But it was an airport, actually. It was an airport, right? An airport. Now, they're saying that some of you could physically work at an airport, and it's a bit like, well, Catch Me If You Can, okay? Catch Me If You Can, because that was an airport, right? I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I think
it was, wasn't it? Right? But they're saying something to do like porting, or like reporting, like I need to report this, or someone is like taking stuff and I need to report this, or report you. They're saying I need to report you. So, some of you, if you're not being reported, you're being deported. Some of you have been, people are being deported. It's like, well, we're going to have to be deported from wherever we are. We're going to have to be deported. That's coming from an aircraft carrier. Wow, they're saying carry, also a carrier, like an aircraft carrier, but is carrying stuff. Is carrying. So if you work at an airport, it's possible that an airport could be closed down because it's being carried through departure. They're saying departure because someone feels like they're departing, like they're departed. We're parted. Okay, because of this here and this here. Okay, I don't want to pick them up and show people, but this is looking this way, away from this three, and this is looking this way, wandering. And it feels like all these people are departing work, okay? So because your work, if it's compromised, you're like, well, we're going to have to go our separate ways from this three. So now they're saying that a lot of you, if there's anybody in your home life or at work that you're struggling with, it's like, well, we'll just stay out of each other's way, okay? Which is like kids and stuff like that. We're just going to have to stay out of each other's way. We're going to have to self-isolate within the three, together but apart, okay? Now, that's children that are obviously going through that because younger energies are also your children if you have children. If you have them, this is coming through as obviously what they're going through. Okay, so what they're going through is being compromised by this three of having to live where you work. Okay, or someone is. It's like, well, you work here, I work here, this is my man cave, this is where I do all my stuff. So we're just going to have to get on, so I need some space. So can you please organise stuff around so I can have a little bit of space in order to work? Okay, so some of you, if that's happening generally now, the future that's been told through me through these cards is that you might have to be segregated from work. So what you're doing is thinking, but possibly not communicating at this point, is about going your separate way from work. So it's like home and away. So it could be Australia, right? But home and away for you each day. But is that still on the TV? I don't know. I haven't watched it in centuries. But century as well. Century. I don't know why I'm hearing centre or a centre. A centre. Well, they're telling me so much through the Three of Pentacles. A centre, like something's being centred through this, like a daycare centre or a centre, and it feels like because of this central part of energy, we might be segregated away from the public. So you might, if you're looking for a payoff, you might be able to get that or look into that because you're having to be segregated away from younger energies or souls that are just wandering around. It's like, well, we just seem to be at work, wandering around. So is there stuff for us to do? Yes, we're going to have to stay away from people, but we're just like here wandering. Like we just wander. I'm also hearing Ronda, but also Ronda Rousey, but also, so someone's aroused, but Wanda, a fish called Wanda. Fish called Wanda. A fish called Wanda. Could be a Pisces, right? Those pesky Pisces. Someone asked me what my star sign is. Pisces, yes. Scorpio, rising. Pisces in the 5th house. Cancer in the 9th spiritual house. Okay? But so you've got 9 of Cups, Seven of Cups. You see, wonder. I'm wondering. I'm just here wondering. So as a collective, we're wondering, what are we going to do about this card, which is the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands. So through another reading, I picked that up that the Queen is going to make a speech, or there's going to be some kind of like speech. Okay, speech. I'm also picking up a speech impediment for some reason. I don't know why. Or a penitentiary. I'm also picking up penitentiary. But the 7, we're wondering. I'm really not sure what to do about these 3, because we've got 7, 8, 9, 10. So at home, Pisces, Scorpio. But okay, so we're here. So I'm with you. Hello. But I'm here and I'm with you. Okay. So we're here together. We want to be together. Okay, so you're together with this person at the moment. Okay, so what you're wondering about is a lot to do with your own financial stability as a collective for a lot of people. If I'm saying you, I mean everybody that's kind of watching, really. Okay, but you're wondering about, you know, how are things going to turn out in the end? If work is, you know, going to pick up, or if it's not. You know, we are generally like looking at options of the world of what we can do to make things better as a collective, and what we are doing is looking for someone that's going to put some kind of like nature into it. Like we want to go out into nature again, something to do like nurturing. You might be looking at your person for general nurturing, like where we're just here and we're slightly compromised because of the work situation and having to isolate. But again, what we're looking for is answers from this Queen. Okay, so I quite like those tarot cards. But let's see, because I want to know what this answer is from this Queen of Wands for this time. 8, Leo, fire Leo, fire Leo. So a fire, so a Leo could be fired. Hope not. But I'm hearing fire Leo, or Leonardo DiCaprio, Leonardo DiCaprio, Leonardo, or Nachos, or Nardo, or something like that. But again, that was in Catch Me If You Can, right? Which is 8, which is leaving. So it's like, well, I'm going to have to leave, so catch me if you can. So, I mean, it don't mean catch me if you can, but it just means like I'm leaving. I'm going to have to leave. So again, I'm wondering whether to leave or not. It's like, well, I don't know what work is going to say, and I really don't know where my future is yet, because we're thinking about 7, but I'm thinking that at some point I'm going to have to leave and more than likely go back to work. So some of you could be off work at the moment, but you might be facing something to do with your boss to say, you know, are you going to come back to work or not? You know, where are you staying? Some of you have got like somewhere that you're staying, but you've also got somewhere else that you want to go. It's like, well, I'm staying here, but I've also got somewhere else. So you might have like 2 places that you go. 1 could be work, 3 it could be like work, home, but you also have like work from home. So you have like a workplace, a home, and somewhere else. Okay? Because it feels like I'm working from home, but I'm working from home. So I'm having to go to work or work from home, but I also have another place of residency that I might have to go back to. Some of you, it's like a flat or something, okay, or a house share. But again, what is this 8 for? The 8 of Cups. See, worried. This person's worried because it's like, well, where am I going to sleep? Okay, because I mean, I really wouldn't say that anyone's homeless. So it's like, well, where am I going to sleep? Because I'm fearful that I might have to go back to work. I'm worried that I might have to go back to work. I'm worried that I might have to leave. Where am I going to actually sleep? This is waking up. Okay, wake up. It's because it's the Matrix. It's when you wake up, the first thing that you see generally is fear. Right? It's fear. When we wake up, I mean, you know, or we feel it. We feel this fear around us at the moment that things are, that we don't know whether we're going back to work or not, okay, or where we're going to stay or where we're going to sleep for a lot of people that are leaving somewhere or possibly having to leave somewhere. So what happens after the 9 of Swords? Having to make a decision. So Libra, again, Libra is more than likely in this energy. of decisions that have to be made about, well, what are we doing or staying? Like, are we staying? Are we going? What are, you know, am I coming back to work or not? So if I didn't say, sorry, this is like general energy now, but it's coming up for an April weekly. Okay, April weekly. If I didn't say, that's the energy I've been concentrating on. That's what my spirits know that I'm reading for. So the 9, the 7, you see, is like, well, where am I going? Where are we going? You know, because we need to sit down around this table and literally talk about things, about what we're going to do. Because if you go back to work, you know, are you going to be compromised in certain ways with work? And the to and from and going backwards and forwards that could be caught from other souls and other people, okay, vulnerable people, or everybody's vulnerable at the moment. So what are we going to do? You know, are we going to like travel? If you are thinking about traveling, is it safe to go outside? Is it safe to be around? Is it safe to go for where I'm thinking about? You know, whatever you're thinking about, is it safe to go? Is it safe to travel? You know, so because a lot of you are figuring out how you can get to and from work, or to and from, like, with or without your partner. If you're with them at the moment, but April is approaching and you're like, well, I might have to go back to work in April, okay, then what is it that we're going to do in order to survive as a family unit, or like as a couple, you know? Because you can very much be in a relationship with this Hierophant. It doesn't matter if it's a Taurus. But you see, that's why work is compromised, and worrying about that. That is also like the factors of the relationship that are going under advisement, which is a lot to do with like advising each other and looking for the government for advice about what we can literally do as a collective about where people are going to stay, if they're going to be staying together. But if they go to work and you don't, and you're working from home, but then the other person comes back to your home, but they have had to go back to work, obviously the energy is confronted as compromisation of trying to compromise with, where am I going to stay? Okay. So, well, you get news. There you go. You get paid. You get paid. So everybody gets paid. So everybody gets something through this time of the weekly April. Okay. They get a package of something. So it's like, well, I can probably go back to work. If you do get forced to go back to work, it means that you will go back to work, but you will earn some money for doing it. But again, I can't tell you physically at the moment what your boss is going to be saying. Because it's like, well, do I go back to work to earn this 10 of Pentacles? Or do I fear about going back to work for this 10 of Pentacles? Okay. And I need to make a decision of what I want to do physically, which is what's worth more. My health, my condition of my health, my relationship, or my job and the money. So what I need to do is look for this Hierophant for a decision of a package that I might be able to get without going back to work. Meaning that I could possibly look for another job of where I can work from home, or I do work from home, and that is what I'm banking on. So then the energy comes from your partner. The one that may have to go back to work, that is worrying. About this 10 of Pentacles is about my home, my stability and my job. What do I do? You know. So let's have a quick look at the 3 of Cups, because I have actually got to do some other star signs. Again, Libra is here and Leo is here. Okay, but Mercury, this is Mercury in Libra. Someone has Mercury in Libra. Okay, I have it in Aquarius. Wow, do you know my placements? Man. I have Mercury, Venus, all in Aquarius, and I have the Sun parked in Aquarius, all in the 4th house. Right? Because people used to say a lot about speech. Speech comes from your Mercury, so wherever that is. Okay, but speech, like my speech, I need to talk. We need to talk. What are we going to do? We need to talk about it. So it feels like that you're looking for guidance from this Hierophant in order to find out whether you are going back to work or not. And a decision that is like not within your hands, whether you're Libra or not. It's out of my hands. I don't know what to do because I'm being compromised through the two. Through communication of what we're going to do. some of this energy is coming through as the people that have to go back to work compared to the people that probably don't have to go to work. They work from home. So I can do it from home, but my partner possibly can't. So we need to talk about it, about what's more important. Us being together, you isolating yourself away but going back to work. So we might not be able to live together, and that's where the fear is coming from here. Okay? So the Knight of Wands, you see here, fire sign, it's coming from children, obviously younger people, but the energy of thinking is definitely coming from like worried, like I'm worried. I mean, that can either be like, I don't know how to say it because I'm worried, you know. Some of you, if people are still on this like third party situation thing, then that's possibly there. But the Five of Pentacles always says to me of something that you feel, okay? And if you feel like the Five of Cups, it doesn't last forever. It's something that you can finally find your way out of. So it's a lot of strength to communicate, possibly, of not being able to compromise with this Hierophant. That if what I'm looking for is obviously good news, so I'm looking for support, backing from the government in order to be able to look after my health more, my health concern. My health is, well, my children come first. That's what someone's saying. My children come first, other than me. Someone is putting their children first, other than themselves, which is what you would more than likely do, obviously, if you're a mother or father, right? So I'm putting this Knight of Wands first before myself. Now, if you've got a love life situation and you're putting the other person first before you, I've always said years ago, who's the most important person in your life? And everybody used to say, my children are, my parents are. No, your main concern is you, because if you're not there, you can't look after anybody, right? So if you can look after yourself, you get shown respect by leadership, by being able to support oneself. Energy, what I used to do with a cup, happens to be a Costa cup. I don't know if a lot of you ever used to see, when I was channeling, I used to channel stuff on paper and just talk like about this, about water, and about how it's compromised as a ripple effect, as when we get older, suppresses itself down, shoots itself out as your destiny, and you release it as a purge of 7, 1 in 7, the relationship. What is more stable in your life? If you're not here, it comes crashing down. You have to look after oneself first, okay, to be able to hold yourself up, to be able to hold anybody up, to be able to support them, to be there for them, okay? Emotions, everything comes from a cup of water, okay? So have it loads in your chart, right? But let's see about this 3, and then we'll generalize it as a progression through April. So again, I'm not sure. 10 of Swords, I really don't know what work is going to say, whether it's there or not. You know, I don't know if I can really afford to spend too much because of this ending, like because I have been laid off from work, and possibly because I'm not at work and I've been laid off. This is where this fear is coming from. But you've got 9 and 1, which is 10 again. So again, I don't know. So you might not be asked to go back to work yet because you don't really know. That's where the 2 is coming from here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 3 again. So we're compromised by really like waiting. You know, it's a heartfelt condition, and it's travelling from the heart to the lungs of what we first channeled. 3 is what I'm also hearing. So we need, see here, I have to compromise with my mother. I can't do that one. Trust me, I go through narcissism just like everybody else does. It's gaslighting, you know, unfortunately. But again, you see, some of you don't get on with your mum, okay? But if it's not relating to you, then it's relating to me. I'm in this, right? But again, I need to look for Libra energy for a decision that needs to be made for work and stuff like that. We need to work for Libra, okay? So we need to find answers from Libra but again, it's coming through as like, well, we don't know. I don't, I physically don't know yet. So if you're not asking for like Libra or anybody for advice, then it feels like, well, we're just going to have to like just learn to live with what we have without asking this Queen, because some people might not want to ask this Queen anything, right? Everybody knows about the Queen of Swords, right? It depends what she's going to say, because there's the shank right there, right? So we don't know what to say, and that's possibly why these two younger energies are not talking to this energy here. It depends on people that are avoiding an energy at the moment because they don't know what this person's going to say. But generally, I think that's coming from work. I mean, I would do that in a reading of general for a star sign. But again, it's looking for like Libra energy for the answers to that you might not want to like push the boat. It's a bit like, well, we don't want to push them. We don't want to push them over the edge. So we really don't know what to say at the moment. So we're going to stay out of the way. We're possibly not going to communicate with our boss because we really don't know what the answer is going to be. Because I actually physically don't want to go back to work and be compromised. I actually want to stay at home. Okay. So the story's really been unfolded. Let's see. So I'm going to actually use some angel cards that I'm not an angel card reader, but I'm getting just decks out that I've got stacks of that I thought I'd do a reading, right? But the Sun, we're looking here for answers because there's a good answer, but again, because of the rest of the reading, the Sun, tell me more about the Sun. So you're at home with the Sun, you're feeling loved, and you're feeling like, family time is there, obviously, daycare centre. These are people, obviously, that are fighting at home because they're like, I want this and I want that. It's like, no, it's like, that's mine. It's no, it's yours, it's mine, it's yours, it's mine. Catch me if you can. Right? It's in the Sun. It's in the Sun. It's in the newspaper. If you come from Britain, we have a newspaper called The Sun. It's in the paper. It's in the newspaper. It's in the Sun. Let's see. The Sun. So we're just looking for the Sun. We're looking for news. Sun. Seven of Cups. Well, we want to know. We want to know from the family. Like, we're trying to avoid also, Hangman. Scorpio, Pisces. What do you know with a Leo?
Oh my God.
Scorpio, Pisces. Okay, with a Leo. So, well, I'm stuck at home with like a Leo or a Pisces or a Scorpio or family, and a Hierophant, also the Taurus. So it's like, well, we're all here. We're all at work. We're all here. But again, some of you, you're not sure. It's really coming through as like the family thing. And we don't know what to do because we are here. So we're going to have to learn to live with one another. We're going to have to generally pull together as a team. Some of you physically, it could be driving you slightly nuts of living with family members that you are compromised with. I'm not talking about your family. I'm only saying that message if you are compromised with families at the moment. It can be very difficult energy, okay? So we've looked into that. So we will generally quickly do, everybody, what have I got? Daily guidance from your Angel Oracle cards. Don't think I've ever really used these much, okay, but we will see a general collective energy message, please, for everybody through the weekly of April. First week of April. So what have we got? Let your past go. Let the past go. Let it go. Let it be. Let it be. Let it go. Let it go. I don't know if I can see, because my eyesight is, I'm getting old, guys, so I really don't know if I can. The burden of caring, oh no, I'm not even going to try. I can't see, I really can't.
Specsavers.
That's why I have a third eye. I look out of that one. Let your past go. What else have we got? We've got two more. Law of attraction. Please don't tell me people believe in law of attraction. Depends if you're going to get it. Depends if you're going to get it. Innocent. Well, I'm innocent. So some of you is innocence with children and stuff like that. Okay, looking for innocence or looking for AdSense. Some of you might be able to earn money through AdSense, but that's a very tricky one. Okay, but again, innocent. We're looking for things that are innocent. We're looking for law of attraction or Laura. We're looking for the name Laura. Okay, please let me know what this let your past go is. I'm not an angel card reader, really. Let your past go. Let your past go. 5 of Cups. If you can't get over someone else, let them go. Please just let them go. Honestly, you'll feel so much better. You know, it's difficult for me to say. You know, everybody's been through the 5 of Cups, right? But they are saying, let your past go. You have to forget your past. And you might be triggered off in certain manners to do with the future. Okay, but again, you have to let your past go. So if a lot of you are really wondering about your past partner or someone from the past, what it is saying is let your past go. Just let it go. Okay, and generally you can't let it go until you let them go. It's when you can let them go and not sit there wondering and thinking that you can let it go, because it's not letting the energy go. The energy doesn't go until you let the person go. You physically have to manifest the person into your life, right? After time, it's put together by spirit. Okay, but generally what you're thinking is what you're manifesting. So if you're thinking of someone of the past, what it's saying is let that go. Let the thoughts go. Give it up to the universe, give it over, give the power over to those. And you have to tell them literally that you do not want that person anymore, that is not suited soulmate for you. If you are really struggling through getting over someone, you have to let spirit know that you are done and that you've had enough, and that you are physically not going to contact them, you're not going to talk to them, you're going to block them out of your life, and you can move on within time. Your brain receptors have to start your new path of karma. Okay, when your karma's subsided, that's because your thoughts then have started to heal. Your body doesn't have to heal. Your mind heals, your process of 3. Your body, mind, body and soul will start to fall in tandem when your mind is in order. Okay? When your mind's in order and in some kind of, like, if it's in a state of 5 of Cups, it's because you're thinking about stuff, you know. Have to let it go, guys. Okay? So, innocence. Give it to the universe is what they're saying. Give it over. Give all that power over to the universe. Do not ever forget that your projection, what you bypass and what you miss is karma. Because you're thinking about someone of redirection of a game of tennis. It goes from one to another to one to another. Energetically, energetic hits, psychic vampires, energy, very confronting. Okay, trust me, it is. To gain your thoughts and gather them, you need focus. Okay, when you're focusing on one person of negativity, you get negativity back. That's why we have scale, balance and Libra. Okay, but that's why we generally have the universe. Works of a scale of the resonance of your soul of thought. Okay, so basically what you forget is 3, which is the planet, which is karma. You don't dish it out. It's not a game. You can't dish it back as good as you get. That's catch me if you can. It doesn't work. Okay, it's not a game. So what you forget is that all that needs to go to karma for them to dish it out. And nothing is ever dished out until they decide to, until people stop projecting an energy of like blame. Okay, so that, I mean, that's harsh guidance, but that's true guidance. Believe me. Law of attraction. 8, Leo energy. Law of attraction. So what you're attracting into your life is living with someone. Okay, so whatever you're thinking about generally is that you're attracting in being confined into a space of like, well, I really don't know what to do, because trust me, in that 8 of Swords, you're living with someone. That's why you feel that way. You know, you're with them. So you're confined in a space of law of attraction, which is what you think is what you get. So at the moment, what you're getting is, really don't know, you know. But again, you've got to let your past go. 5 of Cups for a lot of you. A lot of you, this is really stemming from the root card of like, let your past go. Okay, if you're really thinking here about a past partner here, but you really don't know, that's the mind prison, that's the cell. Okay, comes from the cells. Okay, comes from a cell. Something they're also saying like police thing of cell, but they're also saying it's coming through the cells, the blood work, the cells. So it's coming through the cells. Or the sales. Something's coming through the sales. Some of you are worried that you can't sell anything at the moment. Because you can't sell anything, I'm worried. You know, it's like it's catch me if you can. You know, I get worried about my channel because it gets worse. It doesn't get better. I actually lose subscribers and not gain them, and I don't think it actually reaches anybody new. It just goes down. They actually put old videos above your new videos after a day or two. Once you put out your new video, if that doesn't get a quick response of what your past videos get, in the line they go down towards the bottom, and the old video goes towards the top, and nobody wants to watch it because it's labelled. Okay, so figure that one out as a algorithm. Again, but worry. Okay, so we're going to leave your reading there, guys. That is your general reading for the first week of April. Okay, but it can be around now because energy, you can't pinpoint it, so it can be past, present, or future, or general now. Okay, but that's your reading, guys. Okay, all right. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you again soon.